All right, we're back, folks, and the Pepsi Coke war is still raging on. I guess I see people arming themselves with both ace skates and pitchforks.
Can we all agree that olives on pizza is disgusting?
Can we all agree that pineapple on pizza is fucking disgusting?
No, pineapple on pizza can be really good.
No, okay, this is why I'm. You know what, Zombie Rub? Like, I know we've been through our ups and downs, but if there's one thing that truly would ruin this relationship on BaseTradeTV, it's gonna be this. It's gonna come down to a Pepsi Coke pineapple pizza argument. We're gonna try and have a party. Good. No, we're gonna try and have a party, right? And we're gonna be inviting all of our best friends, and it's gonna come down to what should we get? Oh, pizza and soda. Sounds great. And I'll be like, fine, but I prefer pizza and pop. And you'd be like, well, fine, as long as we get pineapple pizza. And I'll be like, no, I will not have pineapple pizza and pop at my goddamn party.
When have I ever ordered pineapple on pizza around you?
That's the problem. Okay, you so haven't yet, so there's still gonna be a first time.
The risk with ordering pineapple on pizza as opposed to just making it yourself is that they swamp it in pineapple juice.
No, the risk is that a filthy, disgusting fruit touches my pizza.
Fruit is delicious. It's sweet.
Fruit is delicious, and it's individually delicious of pizza. No, it should not be put with pizza.
You also don't like mushrooms on pizza.
Ugh.
That's my favorite thing.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to try and muscle through this. We're on Korea, so playing on the home server. No more latency excuses at this point. In the top right side, it is the blue Protoss Super.
In the bottom left, as the red Protoss, it is Billowy.
You know what is super, though? Pineapple not on pizza. You know what's also super? Pizza without pineapple.
You're just so picky, you know? Like, I get the cred for being the picky one for whatever reason, but I have never done this to you. I have never been like, Rifkin, if you like this, I swear to God, you're worse. You're just a terrible person.
You're worse off for it. Well, I'm sorry, Zombie Grub. I normally wouldn't do that, but this... No, I totally would. But this is where I draw a line in the sand, okay? Pineapple on pizza is unforgivable. Even if you pick it off of the pizza, it still tastes like the pineapple remnants afterwards.
True. I always hated when people just tell me that. I used to hate pepperoni. Now I don't mind it. But people just be like, take the pepperoni off, and I'm like, you know, it tastes like pepperoni after, right? Like,
yeah. My issue isn't eating the pepperoni; it's eating the taste of the pepperoni.
Yeah, it's still the little spiciness of the pepperoni, and like, I'm just like, well, just take the onions off then. And they're like, it tastes like onions. They're like, well, then now you know what I feel. Jesus. All right, we're too. Actually, I'm having pizza tonight. All right, and I'm getting too heated about this.
I swear to God, if you tweet a picture of pineapple on a pizza tonight...
I'm gonna go out to the store after this cast to buy a can of pineapples.
You're just gonna get a normally good, perfectly fine pizza and intentionally buy pineapples separate.
My dad, who also likes pineapple on his cheeseless pizza because he's a vegan.
You're gonna get cheeseless pineapple pizza? It's not even a pizza at that point! It's not goddamn, it's not how you work with pizza! It's fucking good!
That's how we roll. Anyway.
The Chernegas are officially at war with the Rogers. I'm just saying.
Okay. We have a really early Twilight Council for our barcode. Who's this again? Billowy. Billowy.
It's in the clan tag. How do you...
So dark.
All that pineapple on your pizza has ruined your eyesight and made it too difficult to read a name that is clearly right in front of you.
Billowy?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot I could read barcode.
It says it in his clan tag.
I turned it off because it's still bugged.
It is bugged, but I have to leave it on because it's a barcode. Feels bad, man. So, yeah. Ampersand LT semicolon Billowy.
People are saying they love pineapple, Coke, and olives. That's y'all gross, okay? One of those things not
disgrace. What? How dare you?
God.
I gotta say, like, this is where it gets really divided, right? You'll find like a camp of people who do all like pineapple on their pizza, but then they get really argumentative about Pepsi versus Coke.
Oh, ham on pizza is also disgusting in my opinion.
That's a Hawaiian pizza in a nutshell. Ham and pineapple on a pizza.
I don't like ham. I never get Hawaiian pizza. I get pineapple pizza. Anyways, apparently there's a whole subreddit dedicated to people who are defending pineapple on pizza. But I was Emperor Dark Shrine. You didn't deserve to have that.
You know what? That stalker probably also liked pineapple on his pizza, and Super's like, I'll show you what happens.
Can you imagine a stalker eating a pizza?
It's got its tiny little T-Rex arms.
Yeah, it's like a hermit crab eating. Actually,
can one of these stalkers?
Tiny arm that feeds it.
Can one stalker in the game be facing forward so I can show the little stalker arms? Jesus.
Right.
There we go. Little tiny little T-Rex. Yum 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 yum.
They're so cute. They're probably spirit too.
Yeah, they like don't even use. It's like somebody doesn't know how to use chopsticks. They just stab like the sushi with it and then like eat it.
Yeah, exactly. So the blink both on the way, both of them actually. Billowy goes for like a really fast forge. I mean, some players like fast forge, some players don't. Some players like don't even like get an upgrade by the time the game is over in Korean PvP, but he also gets a really fast robotics base, so advancing his tech a lot faster than Super. Wow, they really got you. Tomatoes a fruit, man.
If tomatoes a fruit, would tomatoes in a blender make a smoothie? Is ketchup a smoothie?
Do you know what V8 is?
Is ketchup a
V8,
smoothie?
man.
Answer the question.
Ketchup is
Because if tomatoes are a fruit, that would make ketchup a smoothie. Think
you
about
can
that.
make a tomato smoothie, though.
Yeah, it's called ketchup.
No, it's not. It's called a V8. Jesus. You know what? I'm gonna get the weirdest fucking pizzas when we're in Korea. And since you'll be there for a couple of days, I'm gonna force you to eat some of them. I'm gonna get potato pineapple pizza for you.
My Twitter is just
it.
like a midlife crisis right now with these tweets I'm making. Can we talk about StarCraft? I'm pretty sure we've been talking about not
Yeah,
StarCraft.
excuse you.
What gives you the impression that we would talk about StarCraft? What a silly... I guess, actually, to talk about the tournament, though, for real, this is the semifinals. We're being a little bit goofy because things got really heated after the previous discussion from the previous series. It is worth noting the winner of this will go on to fight against Tails in the grand finals for this week's Corsair Cup. But Red, like the tomato ketchup smoothie that he is, Billowy has got 3 bases down. And so does Super. And that's how I try and transition back.
Amazing.
I like this out of chat. Exactly. Jesus Pizza is not a pizza. It's just a bread with sauce on it. Thank you, HXC1G.
It's actually pretty good. I was vegan for a
Pig!
month, and I've also just
Pig!
eaten
You
vegan
read this
pizza.
shout out. Who just subbed and what did he say?
Pig subbed for 6 months says pineapple on pizza is terrible. Well, you know what?
G'day, mate. Pineapple's a disgusting fruit.
You're on the wrong side of the world to be having this debate.
What's
Go
truly
away.
delicious is a banana.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm
What
just-
even died over there? Was it a warp prism?
I'm just proud that I can say
was a warp
banana.
prism.
It was a warp prism. I can say banana like an Australian. I learned that at TwitchCon from another really awesome streamer named Minx. Shout out to her. Well, the warp prism may have died. We actually have double Stargate follow-ups on both sides of this, which I find a lot more interesting than the actual compositions at hand. The +1 weapons, the Archons versus the Stalkers. I mean, I really don't think this will lead to anything immediate, but I am curious to see how these fleet beacons are going to use. Billowy, obviously, with the it going down first, is going to be leading towards Tempest, but Super might just actually be aiming for Phoenix for the time being.
So this is like so weird. I mean, like, I was gonna make a joke about how we picked a fine matchup to have a super debated, heated debate discussion, whatever, about pizza. Because usually Korean PvPs are very aggressive early on, and like there could have been a lot happening. And yes, we got a little bit too off topic, but actually, not a lot has been happening. I mean, there's been a couple of scuffles, the Warp Prism died, but this has really been one of the more passive PvPs in general that we've seen from the limited amount of PvPs that we get to see, of course, but still. Both going up to 4 bases, the advancement to a Tempest change already coming in, that's pretty damn quick. It's weird. Super is apparently getting the better of it, though. He's got more probes, faster fourth, and a bit more army, but not too much difference here, the 2 of them.
I'd just like to take a moment to apologize, guys. The, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm having a little bit of a technical difficulty. But, yeah, I just wanted to apologize. The, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm having a little bit of a technical difficulty. But, yeah, I just wanted to apologize, guys. The, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm having a little bit of a technical difficulty. But, yeah, I just wanted to apologize, guys. The, The argument itself is not what's got me so heated. It's the shock value that came with someone so close to me betraying me so
I betrayed you by eating my half.
So
of the pizza.
betrayingly.
What was the world like before they made it so you could change either halves of the pizza? Okay.
You know what, that's actually a really good question. Like, was there ever a time where you couldn't say pineapple in half? Like, maybe that was always a thing.
I feel like there was. I feel like when I was really young, because my dad was a vegetarian, not a vegan at the time, but a vegetarian, that he wouldn't want pepperoni, so he'd have to get another pizza, even though we only needed the one. But I don't know when that would have changed. Maybe at the same time that they changed saying in 30 minutes or less, because he started getting lawsuits. that was the good ideas. 30 minutes or less, your pizza's free.
Well, gold base gets taken at a super as he progresses to the middle of the map. Billowy takes the not gold base, but arguably the safer one. I would like to point out the mothership he's actually making. We don't see this too often, but it is, when in rare occurrence, usually a good thing because there's usually not a lot of detection on the map. In fact, both places we can see clearly have one observer apiece.
Chat's too fun today.
I know, this is why I really wish we didn't have a stream delay. Because the problem is, like, we'll get past the topic, then we gotta bring ourselves back to it later. Like,
why are Mommy and Daddy fighting because of pizza and sodas?
Because this wasn't a good relationship in the first place, clearly. And if something so quote-unquote tiny as this could tear us apart, then it didn't have a good foundation, okay? This is why couple counseling exists.
Oh, amazing. Oh my god, they're going to 5 bases now. I mean, this is just... I mean, we've cast like 5% of this game, but really, this is... well, they're all just ramping up anyway.
I'm so sad right now. Riomar is really going ham at me on Twitter. Riomar, I love you, dude.
Canadian ham or regular ham?
No. There's nothing. No. So first off, Canadian ham and regular ham have no difference. It's Canadian bacon that makes the bullshit. Oh my god, I can't even get into this. There's too much to talk about food today, and I'm so tilted. Okay, let's talk about unit compositions. This is a pretty big frickin' deal. All right, Billowy's got Tempest, but most importantly, that mothership. Super is compensated for his lack of observers by getting these oracles, which are great. Revelation's going to be big. But if we factor out for just 1 second that the Tempests are maybe not that devastating, I actually kind of like the Phoenix better in this situation. Not for anything other than swooping in and picking up those disruptors. Because Super, truth be told, doesn't really have a way to deal with the disruptors right now. In fact, we see what is a possible base trade. It depends if Billowy decides to wrap around and come back home. He might just pursue this to the gold base, however. He doesn't know about the gold base. I take that back. He's going to find about it just now, but not before his own base is under attack. So he's already halfway there, halfway back, coming home. Revelation tags the entire army.
That was nice. That was very nice. He might be able to get out of here after killing this base, in fact, because Super hadn't broken down his own rocks. Or sorry, Billowy hadn't broken down his own rocks.
It's going to be messy, though.
Go to the backside.
As we see, the Tempest going to get some free shots. And looks like Super is going to still force the fight. Now, on the ramp might be a good spot to fight, but not with those disruptors in tow. This is where this Phoenix really got to get in that front line, start picking up the Immortals, removing the disruptors from play, but perhaps unnecessary. Billowy still got so much army supply to work with. And that mothership, by the way, going ham. Not getting a lot of kills, but keep in mind, that's 6 damage across 6 attacks every time it fires.
Super's army got a little bit wrecked here. Now it's cornered. He just
these charge lots
to try and deal with the rest of the army. I mean, there's Immortals, Disruptors, things that can't deal with the charges that well, but there's also a lot of Tempests.
Well, the charge lots are interesting because it has like that sort of zergling effect, right? The Tempests don't shoot fast enough to effectively kill them. When did Super make his own mothership? Comes in from the backside, absolutely worthlessly. Both players lose their capital ships within seconds of one another. But at the end of this, I really feel like the Tempest being the much better investment, proving to be so here for Billowy. As he pushes Super back, Super's going to have time to make more Phoenix, get more Stalker Warp-ins, but ultimately slowly bleeding out.
Yeah. I think that Billowy had the better decision, absolutely, than making this Tempest. And the important thing is that he was able to get to a good number of Tempests as well, because the game was so damn passive. You know, if you're caught with 2 Tempests, that's not enough of a tech advantage to necessarily win a fight like that. But with the 6, yeah, exactly 6 actually, then that did go a lot better for Billowy at the end. But Super, I mean, both on so many bases, there's room here to try and come back, try and kill other bases of your opponents, as you can see Super trying to do right now. But he doesn't have the greatest answer to the Tempests.
So this, well, actually, I would argue this is a pretty good answer to the Tempest in a small way, because the one thing you're going to have is mobility on your side. You can move a lot faster than them, and if it's going to come to a base trade, your unit's going to move around the map faster, ideally, and get around them, rather than fight them head on. I'm not saying that this is going to win Super the game, but these Archons... Excuse me, I muted myself for a sneeze there, you guys didn't hear that. The Archons actually have a lot of power in this, because they can soak a lot of Tempest shots.
That they can, and I mean, trading a base for a base is better than the alternative, which is just kind of cowering away and hiding back in your third or your fourth. But as long as the Tempests, as long as they're properly protected, which they should be, this isn't a situation where Billowy is, you know, without an economy and can't get fodder for his Tempests. He'll have an army on the ground as well as this massive poke in the sky. They can just poke away, basically. But the fight actually happens without much poking done from the Tempests, and the front line of Billowy's army just disappears. The Archons of Super are starting to rush into the Tempests.
But this is the problem, like the Tempests could still fly away from this, and I think Super knows that he can't necessarily chase, so he backs away. He does take a great ground fight, but this is where I like seeing Billowy go back into those Disruptors. Perhaps a little undervalued for how good they are, and especially if you want to hit Archons. I mean, 2 and 3 shots can devastate an army if you get those hits. So while the Tempests are important to keep alive, I'd say the Disruptors are way more valuable in this situation. Billowy, of course, fighting from behind in supply, but I do want to emphasize that Disruptor play could really change that if hits perfectly.
I think that definitely was missing from that one fight. I mean, the Archons, there's so many of them that they're actually kind of spread out because they're pretty big units, but had a couple of Disruptors gone down, reduced their shields quite a bit, then maybe the last hits come from the Tempests and the army trades a little bit more evenly, because that was really a fairly like even army, just different army types, and then suddenly it's Super 40-50 army supply ahead. And this is something where now Billowy actually does have to rely purely on the range of his Tempest to try and bring him back in the game, or the Disruptor shots, but basically he doesn't have his own ground army to try and contest with.
I didn't realize these rocks have still not been taken down. Finally do get taken down. Overcharge gonna pop and drive the Zealots back. Again, for Billowy, he can't really afford to dedicate to these engagements. I think it's very obvious when you see this many Archons just how far in behind in supply you are. But Super, not just leading supply, also has way better bases and income right now too. So if he loses this, if both players were to trade out evenly, I mean, look at the income graph, by the way. This is a wall of blue. That's how good Super's been doing for so long, and looks like he's going to maintain that lead as he knocks down another base from Billowy. Billowy going to try and defend, but...
Really. One of them already went down there. We finally see a shot from
I'm wondering,
get the Zealots.
Yeah, I'm wondering what if he's holding back because he's looking to prioritize bigger hits rather than any hits. Because truthfully, I really do think that getting any amount of damage on those Archons and then waiting for that cooldown to come back up is better than just waiting forever for that maybe potential Zealot shot. Either way...
His entire army to deal with a Zealot, not the greatest move. So we're gonna take it?
I don't think it's just about the Zealot. He's trying to escort the probes to the new base, I think. And, I mean, this is all of his work that's transferring over. He's pretty strapped for cash. At this point, I'm actually pretty confident Super can just warp in Zealot wave after Zealot wave and just win the game through throwing money at his opponent. Take the Donald Trump approach, if you will. Or Batman.
Yeah, the same thing. Tempests, hello? Tempests? You gonna come with this
team?
army?
Hello?
No?
Tempest? Hello?
Okay. Well, the Disruptors now go out. They're gonna get a couple of Archons.
Those Tempests are probably just enjoying a nice study pop on break.
Clearly. But Super, yeah, I mean, the whole economy thing is really the problem right now for Billowy. If he had his own 5th base, if he had DTs running around and killing Super's extra bases, then this is a different story, and maybe just the massive micro potential that comes with Tempests, maybe Billowy could have won this game. But I think that Super, I mean, I'm surprised he doesn't already go to his own Tempests just to ensure victory in case his army does get demolished on the ground. Base trade?
East 1, East 2 in chat. If you got it, guys, kind of what's happened. Last few probes dying out. Lots of Stalkers mean lots of mobility for Super, but again, while he might not want to take the army head on because of the Disruptors, because of the Tempest, I think his mobility and, of course, his income. I mean, he can build 50 Nexus around the map. Like, it's not going to be a problem with 3,500 minerals in the bank. Like, if this is going to be a straight-up building for building base trade, if Super loses this, I will be astonished. But coming for the backside. Stalker's distracted in the front. He's looking to get on top of the Tempest, which are exposed. Stalker's blinking forward, not far enough, however. And this might put him in this, disruptor range. That being said, they're now on cooldown. It's not that many disruptors in the first place. He probably knows this too, so Stalker could consider blinking up. This comes down to that money problem I was talking about before, where Super can just throw so much money at Billowy's army. Stalker after Stalker after Stalker warped in. All the army brought back home. GG's get called, and Super will take the game.
Work on tape. Well, that was a much longer game than I thought.
It was a lot more of an awesome PvP than I thought, to be honest. I was worried that'd be a very dull one.
Well, it's Billowy's map choice now. I guess Galactic Process can lend itself to longer games. Technically faster bases.
I just tapped into Twitter. I've got 24 notifications, most of which I'm sure are just Reamar continue to yell at me about pizza alternatives and pineapple alternatives. There's more to be said, but we're gonna go to commercial break rather than fight, and we'll see you guys in 2 minutes. All right, folks, we're back and loading into New Gettysburg for game number 2 in this best of 3. During the break, Zombie Rep had a brilliant idea that we'll have to save for another day, where she was saying that we should have it so we set up like a donation goal on the stream to have us each order our favorite pizza. And well, 100% I would normally be down for this idea, even if it meant eating pineapple on pizza. Ugh. I can't even. Sorry,
whatever, man. Meat lovers is disgusting.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Like sausage on pizza.
It might mean eating pineapple on pizza. I can't say it. It's every time I try it's. Anyways, well, it might involve eating a pizza that I don't prefer. I've actually had pizza for the last 3 days in a row. For those who watched the Halloween stream, we burned like $100 on pizzas to compare pizzas from different places. Then I had pizza just because, fuck it, I was addicted to pizza. I had it on Saturday too. Leftovers on Sunday, so I can't do more pizza today. I'm pizzaed out, bros. I'm not a Ninja Turtle, okay? I can't just eat that every day. Although Michelangelo was my favorite.
Okay.
Anyways, getting into the introductions of the game. This is the semifinals match for the Corsair Cup. If you guys have been enjoying what you've seen, make sure to check out our sponsor links down below for Corsair and look at the website for cool stuff to buy. I will say, above any of their products, their headsets really do just knock everything else out of the park. But more on that perhaps sellout point later. We are going to get into the introductions. Bottom right side starts off here with a couple of gateways. It's going to be the good old blue boy, Billowy.
In the bottom left, as the red Protoss, he is Super.
And that should have been the Korean sound effect, but I guess not because of this. So Reamar, thank you for being the top Korean caster of the day. He says, if there's any about time, you'll get some pineapple from me and you'll have it all the time. $25. That actually makes me want to throw a tournament in Europe just for the pun of the name. Hell, it's a boot time, but for those who don't know why I'm saying it like this, he's spelling it EU as in like about, but you know, Europe. It's clever, it's punny, I like it.
If we could afford to throw something in Europe, we'd be much richer.
You know, the worst part about the consideration of Europe, right, is like, let's say hypothetically we had a venue, like hell, Take TV lets us use their studio for free or something, right? The cost of us getting there is almost like as bad as the money we'd save from using a venue elsewhere. I will tell you without a doubt, though, guys, I'm such a big fan of all the live casting stuff. I would jump at the opportunity if we could set something up, but unfortunately, with our current income, I don't think it's in the cards.
We're just gonna have to deal with going to Korea for it. Womp womp.
Womp womp. Speaking of which, yeah, Lima comes up soon, guys. You're in finals. Looking forward to that. Now the Adepts actually get quite a few kills here. Super wasn't able to get in the base the same way Billowy was, and probes get pulled, workers die, and 4 go down for this.
Yeah. Some miss micro from Billowy, but you're right, he still got the 4 workers. I mean, it's like there's like 5, maybe 6.
It reminds me
a little bit better.
It reminds me a little bit of the old TvT Banshee dynamic, where like the first person to get to the other base with the cloaked Banshee would get all the kills. The other one would have to flop, give up, and micro. Kind of a little bit of what happened there, but not obviously entirely the case.
Yeah. They have a Stargate as opposed to a Twilight Council. different builds for sure coming out from both of them. The Oracle could get some return damage, but seeing the positioning on Billowy's units, I would guess not. They're specifically waiting for that Stargate, that Oracle. And he's responding with Blink, too. So that Oracle probably won't even live that long. The Adepts now coming through might look to catch Billowy off guard somewhere. If he isn't looking at the natural, then he gets attacked in the natural. If he is looking towards the main, then the Adepts come in. The Oracle could do a lot of damage now that he split his army a little bit, that the Mothership Core isn't totally on point. This is the time to decide right now. Does Billowy respond in every location perfectly?
Well, looking like it's going to be a little bit rough. The overcharge in the main looks like it will stop some of these Adepts, but that's when the Oracle comes in, looks to clean house. Unfortunately, though, with all this volatile damage versus the probes, they are stacked up, they're hiding, but they're not mining. And even a few seconds off of mining is pretty bad. Losing this much time immediately on the graphs, as you can see, almost 1,000 minerals essentially worth of damage done there. Not directly, but more so indirectly, because it's 2 bases not mining while this was going on.
Really surprised the Oracle got out of there alive, just barely, of course, and a couple of Adepts did as well, so not a bad attack at all from Super. Now, I did, of course, delay his Twilight Council and his Robo, and that's like the only concern, is that maybe his army won't be as good. But I don't know if Billy's really going to be looking to attack with Blink. It's not that strong of an upgrade, and he is still only on 2 gateways. He could certainly take map control back, but it's a little bit difficult in New Gettysburg, as generally if you're going to commit to going across the bridge, then you're... sometimes you're not retreating, one force field to stop you.
Ricardo, thank you, Ricardo, for that Twitch Prime sub. I need to know, though. Brocard 0. Regardless, I need to know, and this is an important question, do you have pineapple on your pizza?
What if they're allergic to pizza?
Then that's just why even live.
Why even live?
Amazon.ca, user referral link down below to look up a news. No, I'm just kidding. Mana popping in the chat, by the way, saying more tournaments and you please want. Yes, dude, I wish. There are many things we've discussed with many sponsors, but unfortunately, our sponsors are all heavily based as American, so we can't really bring in them overseas with us, which feels bad. That's a significant portion of our war chest depleted before we even begin.
Doesn't Europe still have more tournaments than America?
That's probably true. You greedy European bastard! Go back to Poland! How many lanes have you had in Poland this year, Mana? Like 1 million? Probably. Hello? Go eat your pierogies and sausage.
Kielbasi?
Kielbasa. No, but I'm deadly serious. Like, I want to make this a public statement, guys. If we had the sponsorship, if we had the money, like, we would, without a doubt, throw the sickest European tournament. Believe you me. But the thing that stops us above all else is probably, well, actually, visas. I've never actually had to look into us getting a visa to go someplace to do work like that. But secondly, like, venues. We can look for days over here at venues. We can even afford to spend $700 to fly across the country to check out a venue. It's not so cost efficient to spend a couple thousand to go to Europe, scout out a venue, and find nothing we like.
The more I think about it, and I try and be a responsible adult and do my taxes and stuff, I still don't actually know exactly when I would need a visa.
So, general consensus is anytime you actually work.
Yeah, but I worked in hell, it's about time.
Maybe don't admit that publicly on stream where it'll be on record.
But I think it's like you actually have to get paid to do it, which I don't know exactly what
how that constitutes with the way we do it. Yeah,
I
don't know.
So it's
tricky. It's an interesting question because it's one of those things where you're definitely not trying to tax evade and you're not trying to be shitty with your taxes. You just literally you don't know how to do it. There's no classes. There's nobody to walk you through this.
Yeah, it's interesting because then. If we were paid to the stream, then what about when we went to Germany? You
know what would be super sick? If we could talk DreamHack into giving us like a small, like, you know, like have something sync up. Oh my god. Okay, I got it. Are you guys ready for this? This would probably never happen because there's just too much complication for it. But what if we did something where like Ting Season 3, European only, and the finals are held at DreamHack or something? So like that wouldn't be like a full event required. It would save us a ton of money. It might give DreamHack more content if they're not already doing StarCraft, and then boom, everybody wins. But it is a big kerfuffle of like I don't know if that's even possible.
Ting is an American-based company, so that
It is, but it's broadcast to an American audience, which I think is going to be what matters most at the end of the day. Regardless, we got some stalkers sauntering on over to this side of the map. They're going to find a big warping of Archons actually just now merging in, so not going to get a lot done. Phoenix is going to pick up a couple of these before they can blink away, and this is going to be some secured kills, to say the least.
Well, as the game goes farther and farther north, it becomes less about the bridge and, of course, more about this middle area with the Xel'Naga and Blinkstalkers. If there weren't Phoenixes, could have kind of rained around and poked and prodded and whatnot. As the game continues, I think it's going to be less about Blinkstalkers. I think. Billowy did go for 4 Disruptors, and of course he went for Stalkers, but now he's adding in Adepts and Archons. But Super, once again, going up to the Tempests. I mean, it might have to be something where Billowy has to go for Stalkers, like a bit of that last game.
By the way, I just want to really, really clarify that was like a super creative hypothetical. And I don't want anyone to get overly excited for something that's probably never going to happen. But it's the idea. The idea certainly is neat to entertain. Boom! Thank you for the 27-month resub. He says, no pineapples. Money speaks, man. It's 2 subs now that say no pineapples.
I hate that this is the rampant discussion, because I don't even get pineapple on my pizza that much.
Well, then why are you defending it so adamantly?
Because people should be open to other people's opinions and likes. Okay?
I agree in every instance except pineapple on pizza.
You're just a terrible person.
I feel like
sweetness
you could sway
really
me like
works with a tomato.
You bring in religion, you bring in politics. I could listen to it as long as there's a sound argument. But you bring in pizza and pineapples.
Hitler did nothing
wrong. Exactly. Well, except for have pineapple on his pizza, maybe. That was his greatest atrocity. No, stop. Why did you bring it to this? Alright, so lots and lots of Phoenix flying around the northern side of the map. And of course, the worst part about this is you can have cannons down, you can have Stalkers and Archons in that mineral line, but the Phoenixes can just float right past them. As you can see here, taking a couple of shots from the overcharge and just duck right away. This isn't so bad for Billowy yet, but we're starting to see small leads for Super, where, for example, he jumps to a new base before his opponent. And Billowy, because of the way he has to defend himself, probably not going to feel super comfortable to do that himself. Super also going towards those Tempests, that mothership. I mean, it's not a super mirror image of the previous game, but similar tactics, similar strategies.
I would say it's fairly similar. Certainly getting to the same place, which is Billowy not responding in kind to his own Stargates, which, I mean, if it's a passive game and they both recognize that the pace the game is going, that no one's confused thinking that you're still on, upgrade list of depths.
Oh, this is nice.
Then usually it's a Tempest versus Tempest game, but Billowy is just deciding to stick with his Archons.
This is like the cleanest shutdown of Adepts. And we were wondering, we'd asked this in a previous cast, remember, like, would the transfers still go through if they were lifted in the air? And it looks like the answer is yes. So the Adepts were all picked up. They did transfer through, so that's kind of cool. Science was done by accident.
Spoke a little too soon, I guess. Billowy does throw down 2 Stargates, but he still has to wait for a Fleet Beacon. And, of course, his actual production of Tempest. So he's still going to be relying on Blink Stalkers and Archons
now, is that
for some time.
Is that a Fleet Bacon or Fleet Canadian Bacon?
Canadian ham.
Alright, Oracle's got a nice revelation tag on the army. I mean, there's going to be a couple of shots fired by these Disruptors, guaranteeing kills out of Super, but Super wants to minimize how many kills actually get had. I mean, you don't want to lose the Archons, obviously. Bleed out a Zealot or 2, not the end of the world, but his Tempest range is giving him the opportunity to siege up this base, and Billowy last game was in a lot of trouble for money. This time he's got a nice mineral bank, right? But he needs gas. That's what these assimilators were for. That's what was so important about this 5th base. And if he's not going to have the money game, we might see this still go the same way, like a slow bleed out to 20 minutes where Super just throws money at his opponent over and over and over again.
Timbits, new sub with Twitch Prime, almost like Timbits.
Timbits are also fucking amazing, so thank you, Timbits.
But Munchkins is good.
Munchkins as cats are, I agree, but not as the donuts.
Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts got nothing on Team Hortons, man. Timmy Hose! This is another discussion? Are we about to get into it? Are we about to fight about this too?
No, it's fine. I mean,
Tim Hortons says ice caps, man.
That's fine. Ice caps are pretty good, I'll give you that one.
Yeah, actually,
So-
all my European friends enjoyed them, which was nice.
It looks like this base is going to go down, and I mean, the thing about Billowy's army is that he really does want a really good angle, but there's so many different levels in New Gettysburg right here, the Tempest can just make it run away. Also, stasis traps in the ground, which is pretty cool. He did have like 3 oracles. You only revelation every so often.
The Phoenix just took a long time to get in here, but the fact that those just got caught in the stasis trap may have been what allowed him to come in. A good portion of Billowy's anti-air is crowd controlled at the moment and not shooting up. This is a big problem. The mothership also going to get some nice damage from far away. These Tempests left untouched through the fight. You know, Super doesn't come out with an amazing ground army supply for this, but he's going to come out with his air still intact.
Yeah. But that's what happened last game, though. But then everything turned on its head when Billowy was able to get enough Archons. I wonder if the same thing will happen here.
Mothership does go down. I'll give it that much. The charge lots get on top of these Archons. Oh, sorry, not the Archons, the Immortals. But I think the biggest thing was he shut down his base, right? Like, this was a pretty big deal.
Yes, it was. That's, again, it's like almost a mirror image of last game where Billowy did lose his gold base, but he was able to kill Super's gold base as well, if you recall.
Yeah.
This, of course, not gold bases, but still the 5th bases didn't happen this time. And while Billowy has some money to go with, it is all about that gas.
The thing about this too, you bring up the gas is a good point, because a lot of this emphasis is going to Archons on both sides of this. Like, you're not going to break the Tempest without a lot of Archons on your side, and Super, who has more Archons.
Yeah.
I can't donate to a pineapple hating stream. Was gonna donate, but Ripka makes me feel so judged. I came here to have some good pizza, but I am feeling very attacked now. Well, luckily for us, we're used to not getting donations, so haha, joke's on you. I do want to make it very clear, guys, that this discussion we've had today has been more for fun than seriousness, and if anyone actually feels like they're not safe for eating pizza around BaseTradeTV, then I'm sorry for you for many other reasons that extend beyond the pizza or my own personality. GG's get called.
Yeah, game was ending there.
Super takes a 2-0, and he will go on to the finals. Oh, we got a donation from Penguin calling me out for being a terrible human. This is a really long one. I'll let you read it since I made you read the anti-pineapple one last time.
You did? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
The pig one, remember?
Oh, the pig one, that's right. Alright, $5. Rifkin, you're a terrible human being. Pineapples deserve love, too, because they are the incredibly sweet fruits of the Lord Baby Jesus. Pineapples should be free to venture onto any pizza they please. Pineapple lives matter.
Yeah, that's true, they do. They get a nice username as well with a 9-month resub. He says, see you two in a few weeks. Weeks. Not winks.
A few winks, like one,
catch a few winks of sleep, you know, that sort of that sort of thing. I'm looking forward to it, Joey. It'll be good to see you again, man. BlizzCon is fast approaching, and I'm super excited. We'll talk more on that afterwards. We're going to get this commercial break out of the way, though, so we can get the finals going. Super versus Tails. Stick around, guys. One last PvP to end the day. We'll see you soon.